Okay, so here we are, a little impromptu Reber Live on a Monday night. A little bit late, it's 5:45 my time, mountain time. And I'm sitting here with my brochacho, Andy Northey.
How's it going?
So Andy's a landscape and water feature contractor from?
Otsego, Michigan.
Otsego.
Yes.
Say the bigger city, nobody knows where the hell that is.
It's in between Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids, Michigan.
All right, cool. So Andy and his team are killing it, doing a great job. And Andy's out here in Manitou Springs hanging out with me for a couple days. I've had a great weekend of some friends in town, and Andy's one of them. And so he just got here late last night. We're hanging out today, and so we thought we would hop on here and have a conversation about how to find solid people for your business. So hold on, I got to get my laptop to see if I can see if anyone's on here. So other than lead flow, finding great people is probably the most common thing, right?
Absolutely.
Contractor? I think so. Can you hear us? If you're watching, type in the chat box and I'll see if you can hear me. Anyone? I just want to make sure you can hear us before we run our mouths too long. Let's see. Joe, you said yes, so I'm assuming you just answered me. Awesome, man. Thank you. So yeah, lead flow. Listen, if we don't have leads in the business, we don't have oxygen. We suffocate and we die because we can't sell anything. And when we get the work, have you ever had a situation where you had plenty of work and not enough guys?
Yeah.
Have you ever had too many guys and not enough work?
Never.
Never? Okay, that's a good problem. So Andy has something. You got a great team. Tell us about your team, first of all.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing hearing about like all this stuff is, is everybody, I always hear that people can't find the right team members and that whole thing. So, and I think we're onto something, but I think the key is really looking outside the box and necessarily not looking for somebody with the landscape experience like most of our looking for when we're up, submitting that, we're looking for people.
All right. So just want to make sure that you can hear Andy. Did you hear Andy? I know there's a delay on here. I'm going to assume you can hear Andy. I'm just going to ask you the whole night if you can hear us, because we don't have our mic hooked up. See, that's the problem here. Yes, you can hear him. Awesome. Thanks, Jason. So you said you go outside of the box a little bit. Where have you found your people?
So, I mean, really, one of the things I really think we're onto something is finding athletes. And the reason I say athletes is just because we're very goal-oriented in our business. Athletes are very goal-oriented, so when they come into the business, it's like second nature to them.
Okay, so speaking of athletes, what did we just do?
We just swung a bunch of
We just
kettlebells.
swung kettlebells, man. We were just,
that's why we're sweaty.
yeah. Anyway, so hiring athletes, what is it about them? I mean, what do you think? Just common thread.
Well, I mean, they're driven people. They're used to competition. They're used to working hard for that goal, which is really the main thing for us. Is when we have these quarterly goals and our yearly goals. Mm-hmm. To them it just makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's. I think athletes are used to being coached.
Yeah.
They're used to feedback, right? I mean, raise your hand, because you're going to want to raise your hand. If you want people that work for you that are coachable and can take direction, all right, that are cool with feedback. I mean, as you're a football player and you play a game on a Friday night or a Saturday, and the next day you go and you watch film, and the coach rewinds the play 17 times in a row where you got your ass beat, and you learn from it, and it's that feedback in real time. And so I think right out of the gate, the chances of hiring somebody who's coachable, right?
Yep.
Who's not going to get their feelings hurt as easily. Other characteristics of an athlete. You said something about goals.
Well, I mean, just the same thing as you have these goals. Just bring back football. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have these goals to, for during the week and during the games, and ultimately to get to the playoffs and then to go further. So it's just this overall concept. I know we're very goal driven in our company with quarterly goals and yearly goals and personal goals for the team and everything. So it's surprisingly most people don't set goals.
All right, so I'm going to be careful how I ask this one. Your athletes versus your non-athletes that have worked for you in the past. I'm not saying your current workforce. I'm just saying in general, people that have been athletes, people that haven't been athletes. Do you see them react differently when goals are set or put out in front of the team?
Absolutely.
What's that difference?
They're just, you tell me, we'd ask them, hey, what is your personal quarterly goal for the company?
Mm-hmm.
And they come up with a quarterly goal. I mean, we've had employees in the past where you tell them that, and they have to think about it for days and weeks because they've never set a goal in life.
The whole thing is foreign to them.
Yeah.
Right?
They're just not used to it.
All right. And weigh in, you listening to this, if you're watching, I'm kind of a little behind here on the laptop and what's happening. If you have a question or a comment that you want to make, please go ahead and do that. The more interactive this can be, the better. All right, so let's talk about the thing that's worked for you. I mean, all right, how many people you got on your team right now, roughly?
6.
How many athletes? Present or past, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably 4.
All right, so what's 4 out of 6 is what, 80%, 85,
Yeah.
90, I don't freaking know, whatever. All right, so the majority of your workforce were athletes. All right, how have you had to adapt your leadership style over the years? Because you have a pretty solid team. And we're not going to share numbers here and so, but I know his numbers, and he generates more revenue and profit with a team of 6 than most of y'all do with a team of 15, okay, honestly. And so pat yourself on the back, that's good. So in order to have those types of, it's like the Gary Vaynerchuk video we were talking about earlier today. All right, Gary Vaynerchuk said, hey, if there's me and 4 other people in my office and we play a full court basketball game against LeBron, Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony, the 3 of them, 5-on-3, what's the score going to be if we played a 50? And somebody was like, it's probably going to be 50-2 LeBron's team with 3 people versus 5 because they got the right 3. And so Andy's got the right 6 in his business, but I imagine, like most of us, you've had a journey of being a good leader, maybe a time that you were a really shitty leader.
Absolutely.
All right, so give us a glimpse into the Andy of the past that wasn't a good leader, that maybe was burning through people left and right.
Well, I just think over time I've learned to really learn to communicate better and just be more open, more open and more honest with the team and really just being honest.
How open? Like, give me an example.
Well, I mean, we're very open for our company. We talk about specifically what we want to accomplish, what is our gross profit we want to hit, what's our net profit we want to hit, and everything. So I'm really an open book.
So no BS, no secrets.
Absolutely.
This is just what it is.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Score, right?
Yeah, this is how what we need to do to accomplish it.
All right. Jason said here, he says he also finds military guys are great finds as well, and I would agree. I've had some. I'm a military guy. I think I'm a great find.
I would hire you.
You'd hire me? All right, cool. The whole feedback thing, it's delayed. Sorry, you guys. I got a lot of comments, and it's only showing like 6 right now. I don't know how to open it up anymore. See, this is where I need my wingman Dakota, but he's not feeling well. He's downstairs. His stomach is bothering him. Whatever. So that was mean. All right, so transparency, been open. All right, so you get these people that come into your company. How many come to you without any industry experience?
Well, the last 2 people, the last 2 out of 3 people I've had no experience.
The last 2 out of 3?
Yeah.
All right, so how do you bring them along? Like, how do you manage to produce the profit that you guys do and the amount of work you guys do with a bunch of new guys? Because I know this year you've had.
Yeah, so I mean, like a few things that we've done is like we've sent them to some industry training, just like off the bat, just to kind of get them, get their feet wet a little bit, and then we make sure we try to set them up with really good, successful people that know what they're doing. Because here's the thing, guys: if we have good people,
right,
like they learn quickly, they're just good, smart people. So it doesn't take them much time to really learn. like, hey,
Yeah.
this is what we need to do, and this is what we need to accomplish.
Yeah, when you're not a moron, you can pick things up pretty quick,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So he touched on something about industry events.
Yeah.
And I did a Facebook Live not too long ago. Right here, I was sitting in a different chair, but it was right here, and the topic was why you should bring your people to industry events. All right, now I'm going to ask you a question. You can answer or not answer.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
But in the year 2016, give or take, how much money did you spend bringing your people to industry events, training, and coaching?
Probably 60,000.
Say that louder.
60,000.
60, 60, comma, 000, decimal, 00.
Yeah. A lot of money.
$60,000. This guy ponied up because he gets it. And here's the point I want to make on this whole industry thing. Winners will not stay in a company that doesn't have a clear path to continue to win. Right? I mean, if you're a winner, and if you went to work for somebody tomorrow, and the writing's on the wall that they're not investing in their people, there's not a clear path for me to continue to grow and learn and shit, you're going to be out of there. Because you're a winner. Okay? And so, one of the keys to not just finding these people is how do we keep these people? Guys, you got to invest. You have to invest, and we were just talking about, remember that picture of the lion I just had up?
Yeah.
All right, here, let me see if I can pull up my lion picture, man. This is like my favorite picture. One of my favorite pictures. Bear with me. It's worth it. All right, check this out. Is that not a badass picture? Huh? Just type in the box, Tom, that's a badass picture. All right, give me that validation. So we want our people to be lions, right? Would you ever rather a lion or a sheep working for you?
Lion.
Lion, okay.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you want a lion. I want a lion. Okay. Who do lions hang out with?
Other lions.
Other lions. Imagine that. So you have your employee who's a laborer guy, who's a lion just waiting to come out. And he might be making 12, 14, 16 bucks an hour. And he gets off of work and he goes home, and chances are he's hanging out with some sheep.
Most likely.
He's got his buddies that are, smoking crack and peeing in bushes and things like that, and keying cars and whatever they're doing. And he goes back and he's hanging out with other sheep and non-lion personnel. So by bringing your people who have this potential in them around these other industry events, you get them around other lions. And what happens when they're at the bar having a beer, or they're out shooting pool or whatever with other people?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the rule. It's, you hang out with you are who you hang out with, which is the five most people that you hang out with is who you become. So, and that's the same thing. Like, these people just push each other and they just motivate you. And next thing you know, they're coming back to me and saying like, hey, I learned this, and I learned this, and they just, after these industry events, they're really becoming better employees.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conversation. It's hanging out. You rub off. You become who you hang out with. And so it's one thing to find these people. So let's say you all go out and recruit a bunch of former athletes right now that have a work ethic and they're coachable and all this other stuff. You bring them into your company, yay, I scored. That's only the beginning of this thing. You got to create a path where they can keep winning. Pony up like this guy did. I mean, I'm not going to share any more details about his numbers, but that's a pretty high percentage of your revenue.
Yeah.
But I've known you a few years, and I've known your numbers for a few years, and the one constant thing I've seen is you continue to invest, put your money where your mouth is, and you continue to have pretty damn good results, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
I think so.
Yeah. Except there was that one thing with the hotel room and the midget and stuff, but that was just embarrassing. But
Thank you.
and yeah. So okay, so Logan, yeah, he's just laughing because we know this. Anytime I mention Logan, we all right. So Logan is one of our team members of the Contractor Sales Academy. From that $60K, what do you think your ROI is? Can you even measure it yet? Right?
Yeah, I mean I think it takes time, but I would say quadruple.
Quadruple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like So here's the cool thing. Like when you bring somebody, and Logan, that's a great question, because obviously if you're going to invest that much, you gotta have an ROI. But I think that this is where we got to be patient. There's the long, which I know is a challenge for you. Andy is not a patient guy, but I think in this area you kind of have been. You're like, I'm going to invest in people. They're going to grow. They're going to get around other lions and kick some ass. And this is the long game. This is the patient game. This is, not necessarily always a quick win. But here's one thing that, back to keeping and developing people, guys, let's just use the industry event thing. When you send a guy, I'll give you an example of my life. I got hired as a sales guy to sell rebar, the stuff that goes in concrete.
Yep.
Okay, so they had hired a guy. Huh?
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, it was. So they hired a guy, or chose a guy, and they got my resume, and they saw my last name, Reber, and they're like, we got to interview this guy. So they interviewed me, and I got the job. Okay. And within my first month, they had sent me down, the job was in Madison, Wisconsin, that we lived. They sent me down to Morrison, Illinois, to spend 3 days with one of the best rebar estimators in the world, and the guy taught me how to read blueprints. And I felt like I was really important. Yep. Like I'm this new guy in this new industry, didn't know a thing. And my morale was high, I get to go on a business trip, it's that whole thing. Well, then a few weeks later, they sent me down to World of Concrete with the rest of the sales team to go down there and learn more about the industry. Guys, I don't remember anything about rebar estimating, concrete products, or anything that happened at the World of Concrete that year. But I do remember that I felt like I was part of the team, like I was important, and my morale was higher. And think of the ROI on that. When you feel like you're part of this team from day one. And so I think just right out of the gate, when you invest in people, you get them training, you show them that you're serious about helping them reach their goals in the context of reaching our goals as a company, the ROI on that is going to be crazy. I mean, Steve Schinholzer, my partner in the Contractor Sales Academy, he's got 2 guys that are partners now in his business. He is now a minority owner in his business, in his water feature business. That's kicking ass. Well, these 2 guys both came to him with no industry experience, worked their way up, and eventually became partners. Now, what's funny is everyone will say, oh, Steve, you're so lucky you found these guys, right? How many times have you heard that?
A lot.
And Steve will tell you, yeah, I wasn't that great of a leader years earlier. I probably burned through about 30 of those guys before I woke up and really put my money where my mouth was and invested and became a better leader. So I really don't have any idea why I brought that up, but I did. All right, let me refresh my page here. Anything else you want to share about building a team, people, being a better leader, wearing half shirts, anything?
Well, I think, like you said, the whole industry events, though, it really goes back to the whole, just bringing these people, we get to hang out for 5 days, 4 days, 5 days, or however long the event is, and it just really builds, a culture, really within the team. It's just because really, we hang out with these employees more than we hang out with our families sometimes.
Right.
So it's we just, it's worth it.
How do you, all right, so when I was in the Marine Corps, I look back and there were 3 things that I think help build a strong team. The first is you got to have big time accountability, right? Winners want to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Winners don't mind that. Second thing is they want recognition. So in the military, they pin shit on our chest. You do something cool, they pin something on your chest. You play football, they put those stickers on your helmet. I mean, what dude doesn't want to get a sticker? What girl doesn't want to get a sticker on her helmet, right? Okay, so anyway. And the third thing is fun. So when I look back in the Marine Corps, it was we were highly accountable, we were pat on the back, and we had a lot of fun. We made, what is it, lemonade out of lemons, or whatever the hell that whole thing is, right? So pick one of those, accountability, recognition, or fun. How have you implemented that in your business?
Well, I think they're all important, but personally, one thing that I think we're going to really work on in 2017 is creating that more fun aspect to the business. I think we have good accountability, good recognition, but I think it's just, it's that whole, just building that team and making sure we're having fun and growing.
Is there a point in the year where the fun goes down?
Absolutely.
When's the grind hit you guys?
I mean, truly, the grind really hits us probably September, October.
Okay.
You know, that's just really the time where it's just like, you know, we're getting wore out, we're getting tired, and we're ready for a change of scenery. So it's, you know, it's at that point where it's like we really have to stay motivated, which is, you know, it's a challenge.
All right, so I'm putting you on the spot. This is Andy's first Facebook Live ever, by the way.
Thank you.
And so you said that, you know, we hold them accountable and we recognize them. We got to work on the fun.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you recognized your peeps?
Well, I think it's, I think just letting them know, like, hey, we're doing a good job, you know, in the field, whatever. You know, sometimes we go to breakfast, you know, just to surprise them. You know, I like to do that. Just anything, you know, like we've done Panera bread, you know, once, you know, I was telling
Right.
him to go grab it. You know, and just, you know, I've had, you know, we got James. Once in a while he'll come in, he'll just make pancakes. You know, he'll just go all out and bring pancakes and, you know, everything and just, you know, really just build that, you know, like, you know, that thank you, you know, especially because he is a sales guy. So it's, you know, it's building that whole sales / you know, the guys in the field. So like, just everybody feels appreciated. Yeah.
Relationship. So what do you tell the guy that's like, man, that sounds all good, taking the guys to breakfast, bringing them this, blah, 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 going, you know, whatever, but who's afraid to put that stuff on the clock, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, that's an event. I mean, if you got 6, 8, 10, 12 guys and they're all at a meeting and we're going to have a pancake breakfast and not be productive for a few hours that day, how do you justify that?
Well, I think that's just part of overhead. And I really think you just have to, you got to build that into the quotes, you know, into the business.
Okay.
You know, I mean, like we do, I mean, for us, we do meetings every Monday, you know, they take 2 hours. Well, you add that up by 6, 7 guys. I mean, that's a lot of labor hours.
All right,
You
so let's time out. So 2 hours every Monday.
Yeah.
All right, how many people?
Well, I mean, right now we got 6, but you know,
6?
busy time you can have people.
All right, so you get, you know, we'll call it 7.
Yeah.
7 times at least 2 hours, 14 hours a week.
Yeah.
Times 4.3 weeks in a month. That's 60 man hours a month, unbillable.
Correct.
You just realized that now. He was like, shit.
There goes the overhead.
Thanks, you Jag. And on the year, guys, that's like 725, 722 man hours.
Yeah.
All right? And, you know, you figure average wages, burden, you know, just in the field, you're looking at 21 grand a year.
Just in meetings.
Just in non-billable meetings, okay?
Yeah.
But guys, the fact that he's like, I just work it into my overhead and I know my numbers and all this other stuff is why he's killing it. It's why he's not crying poor right now when so many contractors are freaking out because the cold came or whatever. And he's in Michigan where it's cold.
Yeah.
All right? So you got to know your numbers. You got to take care of your people. And, you know, all the stuff we've been talking about. So, all right. So I'm going to kind of sign off here. My computer's like freezing up, man. So if you guys are asking me questions and crap, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. So if anyone wants to pick your brain, how do they reach you? Where do they find you?
Yeah, it's Andy Northy, ANDYNORTHEY. Just find me on Facebook. If you know Tom, I'm friends with Tom. And then, yeah, just send me a message.
You admitted that you're my friend.
Yeah, I'm friends with Tom. So, yeah, I mean, just look up Tom. I'm friends with him, and we can just, I think he's posting me right now, isn't it?
Andy Northy.
Yeah.
www.ra1.com. There's his name and his
Yeah,
website.
Yeah, so just
There you go.
send me an email. I'll be glad to have a conversation with you. And just, I mean, we can have a conversation and, you know, hopefully learn from one another.
I'm looking at the replay right now. You see our nice white feet down there at the bottom and stuff.
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Woo!
looks nice.
Yeah, we're
Classy.
not weird. All right. Anyways, well, happy Monday. The 19th.
I think so.
19th. Sure, sounds good. All right. Christmas is a few days away. My daughter's got her little countdown thing here, so I think we're 6 days. Yeah, it'd be 6 days away. See, there it is, a little countdown. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
You know, and appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit us up with any questions. And also, if you're not in the Contractor Sales Academy, get your people in that thing, get them around other lions, and start kicking some serious butt so that you can be an Andy too.
Oh, thank you.
Wasn't that cool? That was really good.
All right. Good luck.